No one wants to think about disaster striking our biggest investment. Yet, with very little warning, storms, fire, flood, that can all leave your home in shambles. So once you've called your insurance adjuster, what's the next move? My guest today wants you to pick up the phone and call the team at Buckeye Restoration. We have President Patterson joining me today. So good to see you, Rod.
Hi.
All right, first of all, your customers have been singing your praise, we'll say, since 2004. That is how long you have won this Consumer's Choice Award. What does that mean to you?
Well, we'd just like to say a big thanks to Columbus for voting us in another year.
All right, that's good. So tell me what Buckeye Restoration does.
Well, we've got a team of professionals. When called out, if someone has a fire, water, or storm damage, we come in, help pick up the pieces, and put their property back into a pre-loss condition.
Okay, so I can't imagine, when we talk about fires, I can't imagine anything really more destructive than that. And you brought even a tool with you that I think some people may not even realize, but there's a lot of damage that can happen when a fire hits your home, right?
That's right.
And it's flames and water.
That's right.
So how does that work? Yeah.
Well, this is called a moisture meter. Sometimes when water's trapped beneath the floor, behind drywall, sometimes you can't even tell. So this is used to identify if there's any moisture back there. It basically will light up, the indicator will go into a mode that lets you know there is enough moisture back there where you may need to expose it and get some fans on it, dry it out. Okay,
so you just need to realize that it's not always what looks like damage. It could be something hiding beneath the surface.
That's correct.
Okay, Rod, we're going to look at some photos, too, of a home damaged by fire that most people may think it would be a lost cause. So what did you do to fix this home?
Well, that's a log cabin. This particular lady, her and her father built this house, and we were called out to restore it. One of the things she wanted done was to leave at least the first 2 rows as to identify that her father was still involved and that the property was restored with some of the items still left in place. We're actually still in the middle of this, I should say the middle. We're just about to finish it up, and she's very happy, ready to move back in and excited.
And as I mentioned at the start of this segment, usually you call your insurance adjuster first when something happens, right? But how can you really tell who has your best interest at heart?
Well, not always are the vendor programs the best route to go. Really, if I was in 30 years of doing this, I would suggest a homeowner to call the contractor themselves. Not that vendor programs aren't good, but my wife always said, don't always use the lowest bidder. Make sure you have someone out that has your best interest at heart.
Okay, and looking at some other pictures, Rod, talking about this water damage, a lot of times when you come in or, obviously when there's a fire, there's also been a lot of fire hoses out there, right? To put this fire out, and that in itself can cause a lot of damage.
It can cause a lot of damage. Actually, sometimes it can cause more damage than the fire. So that water damage travels, gets behind the wall. You have to tear out drywall, you have to tear out cabinets, etc. The goal is to put it back in the pre-loss condition, or better sometimes.
And that kind of leads us to the fact that you don't just do the exterior, right? You can work from the studs out.
That's right.
Okay, so when you go into somebody's home and you see this damage, I would imagine that they immediately, like I said, think it's a lost cause. Are you there to show them, listen, sometimes there can be a silver lining in this?
Yes, there is. In fact, there's one slide that probably comes up where a lady, her husband had a lot of fire damage. The roof had to come off, completely gutted. And people's needs change over the years. 15, 20 years later, living in the house, they wanted to open it up. So at that point in time, we were able to engineer the roof structure to accommodate pulling walls out. So now it's wide open. They're able to change, countertops and cabinets and put it back to current condition, current style.
Okay, they could modernize it, and they took it as like an opportunity, right, to redesign a little bit.
Nobody wants disaster, but if you can take advantage of that situation and make something good out of it, a lot of times they do.
So after you put the home back, are a lot of people shocked?
They're excited.
Excited.
They're excited. We're not the 3-day turn it around and move back in contractor, but generally speaking, we get them back in there in a timely fashion. They're displaced. When they see a new product like that, it feels like a new home.
Yeah, quality takes time. That's what people have to realize. Rod, I want to thank you. Buckeye Restoration, a great place to go for help. So thanks for being here.
Thanks a lot.